Welcome back. Breaking news.
About what?
Movie of the summer.
Of 1981.
Yeah, a movie of 1981. This is a pretty 80s movie. But,
It's a very 80s movie. I have a lot of things to say about this movie that you made me watch.
Yeah. Before we do that, let's get to our unruly segment. Brailee, I have a question. I think this was originally posited by Immanuel Kant.
I'm pretty sure it's Kant. Immanuel Kant.
No.
98% positive.
I think you're wrong. I think it's Kant. Because whenever people say Kantian, they say Kantian, not Kantian.
I have been watching The Good Place again, where they are doing all types of philosophy, and Chidi always calls him Immanuel Kant. Now I'm doubting myself.
Kantian.
They might still call it Kantian. It could be that it's affected by the later letters.
Sure.
Now I'm Googling.
Yeah, this British pronunciation sounds like Kant. American pronunciation sounds like Kant.
We might both be right, except for
yeah.
Why would you do it the British way?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I've converted over to
Immanuel Kant.
Yeah, baby.
But yeah, I didn't mean to bring us down this side tangent.
Have you watched The Good Place?
Yeah.
I've been rewatching it over the past couple of days, and Chidi for sure calls him Kant.
Okay. He's American.
He
True-blooded. I don't know.
is not the...
What
just
is...
to get us off on a whole
He
tangent.
speaks an American accent.
He does, because at the beginning they talk. He's from Senegal, so he speaks French. He is speaking in French, but because it's The Good Place, it's taking everything and instantly translating it into a dialect that the person who is listening can understand.
Okay. I think it's because in The Good Place, everybody would speak,
Don't go
American lingo.
All right, what is your question? What did Kant say?
Yeah, it was, would you rather move every single month or kill one of your family members?
Up until you specified who it was that I would have to kill, I was still leaning towards kill because I hate moving so much. But obviously I'm not a monster and I would just move every month and not own anything.
Not own anything?
Nope, I would just rent it all.
Yeah.
Just leave it and move on.
Yeah. You're right. I would just own a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a suitcase. That would suck.
It would suck so bad.
Especially in your case where you have a family.
Yeah. I think my kids' cars alone fill up more than just a backpack.
Dude has so many Porsches.
So, what inspired this question, Jace? This unruly segment.
Because I recently moved apartments. And it's lame. Even I, a lonely man with no family, it's hard.
Who barely owns anything.
Yeah. I don't even own that much stuff.
Yeah. Did it all fit back in your 2 suitcases and your car?
Yeah, there was some overflow. I couldn't fit blankets and my shower stuff. So if it was a Joe Schmo, you would kill them?
Obviously not. But I thought you were going to maybe say fish. And I'd probably go for killing a fish.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. They can't feel pain, I think.
Science. Straight facts, baby.
Yeah. Or is it like they thought crustaceans couldn't feel pain or something?
I used to think a lot of things that can feel pain did not feel pain.
Yeah.
We were pretty dumb.
Have you ever seen those videos where they're like, this is how you instantly kill a squid? and you just karate chop them on like kind of their neck part. But the video I watched, he karate chopped it, didn't kill it, and then did it again.
What are you watching?
It's just like when you're scrolling shorts
horrible.
or like TikToks, you just get these random things.
No, I think your algorithm's a little borked, bud.
Maybe, but but I know how to instantly kill a squid.
Except for not, because that one guy didn't.
Near instantly. Squid had to suffer a little bit.
2 instances.
Yeah.
My goodness.
But I'm killing my family member. No cap. Okay,
you just have to kill one, and then you never have to move again?
Yeah. If it's like like far out there in the family line,
you better not include this part.
Like if we're talking like third cousin.
No. Just get used to the nomadic life. You're too good a person.
I don't want to. That's like the worst part of like the idea of being like a samurai or a cowboy. So you never get a little house to chill.
Is that the only thing stopping you from becoming one of those 2 things?
Yep.
You know, if it weren't for the fact that they'll never have their own tiny house.
I was looking into the career path and I'm like, too much travel. I don't know what Kant was trying to, like discover about a person from this, but I don't know, they're weird guys.
All right. Now that we've been unruly, are you ready to talk about this movie? Yep. I was unprepared for what this movie was going to bring, and honestly, this movie still brings some unruly energy. This was wild.
This was not exactly what I was expecting.
This was not at all what I was expecting. I have lots of points. Okay, so good. short little overview synopsis. It's 1988. Manhattan is a high security prison, the entire island of Manhattan, and Air Force One crashes over it, and the president of these United States is stuck there. And so then they send in Kurt Russell's character, Snake Plissken, who is a convicted bank robber, to go get this guy out, this president.
Also, super cool military guy.
And honestly, all of those words I just said are not the wildest thing that you are about to hear. Kurt Russell wears an eye patch throughout this entire movie, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. The moment he stepped off that bus, I was like, you look real dumb.
Yeah.
And then it got worse. So, anyway, that's the overall gist, which is absolutely bonkers. So we open up on Manhattan, and they're giving us this little background about how it all became to be and yada yada yada. But
we should just talk about briefly, like, what we thought about the movie.
Okay. It was silly.
First, silly.
I thought it was silly. It was fine. I was glad it was only an hour and 40 minutes. And I'll never watch it again. What about you, Jace?
Yeah, it's silly. I liked it. I think it's good that it is an hour 40 minutes, and I don't think it like lingers on stuff, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot more. The island's a lot more crazy than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
We did The Thing recently, which is another John Carpenter directed film,
mm-hmm.
made in 1982,
mm-hmm.
or released then. And these movies are like really, really different.
The Thing was significantly better. I was actually kind of looking forward to this movie. I was like, I probably never would have picked it out, but I was like, oh, it'll probably be pretty okay. I mean, I liked The Thing. No. I finished watching this 30 minutes ago, folks, and I was like, well, The Thing was a whole lot better than this was.
Yeah. Did you not have, like, fun watching this?
No, not really. No.
Okay. That's fair. But I think the contrast of The Thing and Escape from New York is really funny, because The Thing, I feel like it's a pretty timeless movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel 80s. If it was like filmed today,
mm-hmm.
like it would feel like it could have been from any time period, really.
Yeah. But then in Escape from New York, Kurt Russell walks off of a bus with an eye patch, his glorious mane of hair, and the ugliest camo stretch pants I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, this do be the 80s, son.
Yeah. And then this one's like 80s action movie. You got a cool guy that doesn't take no crap going in for one last job to save his life.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
a lot of 80isms, but yeah. Let's talk about the nitty gritty, Brailee.
The nitty gritty. All right. So.
Let's do the gritty.
The gritty.
Get into the gritty.
So we open up, and you're just seeing chaos. So we learned that there are no guards in Manhattan in the high security prison. They are just all on the outside, making sure that everything stays in. So we witness a couple people trying to escape and getting killed because they're not allowed to do that. We just see the whole operation of all the... Go ahead.
In the helicopter, they tell the people on the raft to, like, turn back now.
Mm-hmm.
And they start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just blow them up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
That seems pretty accurate, too.
They're kind of jerks, yeah.
Yep. So we just, like, we go to this, like, camp where all the guards are and everything. And this is where we meet Snake, Kurt Russell's character. And because he's about to get sent into the prison. And then, so he walks out in his cute little outfit. He's got some rockin' boots on, too. So, and that jacket. Oh, plus the black tank top. Can't forget the black tank top. Incredible. So, he's like, so pans away from him and we go to like the control room and they're like, there's a craft mayday, like an airplane mayday over restricted airspace and over top of the prison and everything. It's David 14. And they're like, we don't know who that is. So they like talk to Washington. They're trying to figure out what this airplane is. And turns out it's Air Force One. It's going down. It's been taken over by some extremist group that's anti the government, it seems like.
Yeah.
and
Antifa.
they crash it. They crash it into the area where the maximum security prison is, but not before the president jumps in his little escape pod. So 80s, baby. It's just a red circle made of
red
metal.
egg.
It was crazy. And so then once they figure out that that's what's going on, a bunch of the guards get out, get in helicopters, head to the crash site, and this, that, and the other. Turns out that the president has already been snatched by one of the groups within the prison, and they've chopped off one of his fingers with his like ring on it to be like, bro, we got him, get out of here. So they do. They leave because they say they're going to kill the president if they don't. And then we get back, and I guess you can call him the warden. Is that what you would call Hoke or whatever his name is?
No, he's the commissioner.
Oh,
because the guards
I caught
around
that really well.
the guards around Manhattan are the USPD, the United States Police Department.
Okay.
Yeah. They have a whole nationwide police force now.
And you would need to if Manhattan itself turned into a maximum security prison, so.
Yeah. Even NYPD can't handle all that.
No. But anyway, we come back. The commissioner, we get introduced a little bit more to Snake and what he is. So he's ex-military dude who turned bank robber and was about to get a maximum security, like a life sentence to the prison. But if he gets sent in and he rescues the president, he can be pardoned of all the crimes that he has committed in the U.S. Those were the words that were used. So he has obviously committed crimes outside of the U.S. But
that's awesome.
He is reluctant, but eventually decides to accept. Is given some gear, gets some medicines that could kill him if he betrays them, shot into his neck. That was painful to watch. And is sent on his merry way with a helicopter to land on the Empire State Building. Did I miss anything from the beginning segment?
That those shots will kill him.
I said medicine that'll kill him if he betrays them. Yeah. Because they were like, listen, we're about to give you a helicopter. You can't just turn around and fly to Canada because we just put medicine in your neck that will blow you up with if you decide to take a different course. He got stuck doing what he said he would do. And he's given 22 hours to do it because you have to help me remember. The president was on his way to some summit between like China and the Soviet Union and something about nuclear stuff that if he didn't show up to, the U.S. was screwed. So they needed him back to be able to show up to that because he had some documents and a cassette tape in his briefcase.
Yeah, the U.S. had some breaking news or something that would
some blackmail.
Give peace to all nations.
Yes. So we move on. Kurt Russell, Snake, Pliskin. Oh my God, I've forgotten his name. I almost called him Plinsky. Pliskin is hopping. He's got a gun. He's got some equipment. Just hopping from building to building trying to find the Presidente. And somehow everybody knows him. Yeah,
he's the most famous guy behind the president.
He's walking through, which, I mean, the picture that they're painting in this place is that it's totally desolate. There's a whole lot of people living in the sewers and stuff. Everything is destroyed. And it's 1988, but somehow these people are getting text messages with Snake's face all over them saying he's some cool dude. I know they're not getting text messages. I'm just trying to understand how this information is getting out to them. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Like how the prisoners know him?
Yeah. Like, we're never shown any TVs. Like, we never see any TVs. We never see any, like, anything that would...
That they would be able to...
Yeah. Like
get
even if we just saw, like... Yeah, like a newspaper or something. Like, we never saw anything that would be like, this is how we know about you. Like, it's dumb to me. And then they just recognize him on sight, too, I guess. Probably the story of that one guy with the nice hair and the stupid eye patch got around.
Yeah. And he's a pretty, he's kind of like a character that stands out.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, he's moving through the streets. Go ahead.
You're that famous war hero with the dumb name and the dumb eye patch.
Yeah, so he's running around. He's trying to find the president because they had some sort of tracking device. Like, the president was supposed to be wearing this bracelet that, like, had tracking in it. And so he was able to use it to track to where the president was supposed to be. So he's running around. A bunch of people are like, oh my gosh, you're Snake. I thought you were dead. And he's like, but I'm not. And then just moved on. I was like, they never explained why we were supposed to think he was dead, right?
No.
Like, everybody thought he was dead, but obviously not. And we never get the story as to why they all think that he should be dead. So I am confused. But anyway, tracks down the bracelet. 'Tis not on the president. They put it on somebody else.
Yeah.
And Snake's like...
Because it's the most undiscreet tracking device ever made.
Mm-hmm. It's a massive, massive bracelet.
Which I would have been like, okay, maybe, even though it is the future, maybe they still don't have, low-profile tracking devices.
Mm-hmm.
But they send in Snake Plissken with a little beacon, and it's just a button and a little bracelet.
Right, like a bracelet that's small that has, like, a metal cover on it, so it just looks like a cuff.
Yeah.
Instead of this, like, massive computer that the president had to wear on his arm.
Yeah. They gave more high-tech technology to Pliskin than they did the president of the U.S. I mean, Pliskin is so cool, everyone knows him.
It's true. He might be more famous than the president.
Yeah.
President isn't there. Some other random dude is wearing this bracelet. And Snake's like, well, sorry about that. I guess I'm getting out of here. And they're like, nope. Because he's got a radio. He's talking to the commissioner and all those dudes back in their comfy place. And he's like, nope. If you get on that helicopter and you don't have the president, we'll blow you up. And he's like, I'm 98% positive the president is dead. Please let me out. And they're like, nope. So now he has to go and try and find the president still without any tracking stuff. So I'm trying to remember what happened next.
Yeah, where does he go from here?
He meets up with the cabbie who tells him that the Duke has the president, because everybody knows that the Duke has the president. And
yeah, because Cabbie saves him, right?
Uh-huh. And then he gets the cabbie to take him to Brain.
Mm-hmm.
We're really good at this.
Because Cabbie doesn't know where the president is, right? But he knows that Brain might?
Cabbie knows that Duke has the president, and he knows that Brain has a way of knowing where the Duke has the president. And he has more of an in with the Duke than, like, Cabbie does, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because Brain and the Duke are, like, buddies. Or, like, not buddies, but the Duke is more like his boss.
Yeah. Okay. So then he takes him to Brain, who Snake turns out to know. Snake just knows literally everybody in prison, and everybody in prison knows Snake. So, interesting. But, Brain's like some super smart dude, so he's like figured out something with, I think, gasoline, because at one point Cabby's asking him for gasoline, and the reason they call him Cabby is because he drives a taxi and has for like 30 years here.
Yep.
And so Snake convinces Brain to take him to where Duke has the president. It's a lot of names running around. Snake, Brain, the Duke.
Yep.
The president. So, and Maggie's just like she's a lady who runs around with Brain and helps him, and they like run the operation together, it seems like. We don't really get like a huge backstory on like anybody. There's like
no
little bits and pieces, and that's it. That's all we get. So
yeah, you don't really know why Brain is in there or why Maggie's in there.
Yeah.
Or anything really.
Yeah. So it was interesting, but
yeah.
So Snake forces Maggie and Brain to take him to where the Duke is holding the president, which is in like Grand Central Terminal. Snake finds the president, but he gets shot in the leg with a crossbow bolt and is beat up and kidnapped by the Duke's people. So the Duke's people nab him and re-nab the president because he didn't actually get away with him. Yep. And then they knock Snake out, and the next thing that we see is Snake's waking up. In the background, we hear some shots happening, and it pans over to this view of the president is like, his arms are tied to the wall, and the Duke is just like taking shots around him at the wall. But this is not the thing that made me sigh. The thing that made me sigh is that Kurt Russell, Snake, wakes up shirtless with the stupidest tattoo of a cobra on his abdomen that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, what an unsubtle way to tell me why this man is named Snake. And I think...
I love...
Go ahead.
I love that it's never clarified if his real name is actually Snake or not. Because it seems like his real name is Snake because the commissioner never like calls him like, oh, John Pliskin and then or anything like that.
No, I think he did. I think he did when he first pulled him into his office. He like said something Pliskin, and then Pliskin goes, "You can call me Snake."
No, he calls him Pliskin. He only calls him by his last name, and he's like, "Commissioner, call me Snake."
I don't know that I believe that. Hang on.
I'm pretty certain of this.
I am going to rewatch that section. I think the thing that upset me most about his stupid tattoo as well was the fact that like we only see like the top half of the snake because the other part is below his like pant line. Like it's just the stupidest tattoo I've ever seen in my life. I hated it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm still trying to find.
So big.
And it looks stupid. Like,
yeah.
You know that they just did like a temporary tattoo, but it literally just looks like one of the ones that a kid would get in a cereal box. Like it doesn't look good.
Like Snake Plissken, he feels like a caricature of the 80s action star.
Yes.
But he really is an 80s action star. And I don't think the movie's, like, totally playing it straight, but, like, he's supposed to be, like, cool guy. Yeah, Escape from L.A.
Yeah. I'm not watching it, Jace.
We gotta do that one.
I'm not doing it.
I've heard that one's even funnier.
I can do it, but you need to give me some time to recover from this one first.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. He says, I'm not a fool, Pliskin. He says, call me Snake. Oh, hang on. Here we go. He's picking up his file. He literally just says, SD Pliskin. So I guess it could be Snake, because S could stand for Snake.
Uh, SD Pliskin?
Uh-huh.
What the heck? When I Google it, it says that his name is never revealed beyond SD Bob Pliskin.
Mm-hmm.
When
I
is
don't
it
even know
revealed
where they
to be
got
Bob?
Bob.
Okay, apparently Bob is, it's revealed his name is Bob in LA. How many names does this guy have?
So many names.
He has at least 4.
But anyway, if we got off topic, I'm not exactly sure where we were. Snake, his tattoo, I hate it.
Yeah.
The president is getting shot at.
Yeah. And then he gets, because the president has the
briefcase hooked to his handcuff. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they shoot open the briefcase and they find the cassette tape and the files. And they use the briefcase to send a message back to the commissioner. And they took the stuff out of it and put a note in that was like, hey, either grant every single one of us immunity and get the president back, or don't, and he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, where's the cassette? And everybody's like, I don't know. It wasn't in here.
Which, you know what? I gotta hand it to the Duke that he didn't make a play to, free himself. He made a play to free all his boys.
It's true. He's a man of the people.
He is a man of the people.
Do or die also, till the end.
Yeah. How come it took them so long to break open the briefcase?
I don't know.
I feel like
amateur.
I feel like within 2 hours of me having custody of the president, I would be like, okay, whatever you've got here is super important. We're gonna figure out what that is.
I feel like within 45 seconds. An Amazon package that I know what has inside of it gets delivered to my house, and I can't not open it for 30 seconds. It's open within 30 seconds of arriving at my house when I know exactly what's in it because I ordered it.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that the president is here with a briefcase on his arm and you just didn't open it for 15 hours?
Very patient.
What?
They're very good at minding their own business.
But anyway. So all that's happening, and then Snake gets thrown into a fight pit with some massive dude that looks like a wrestling character straight out of the 80s too.
Yep.
And then, long story short, he kills the man in the fight. And while he's fighting, Brain and Maggie come in and take the president. Because obviously, the Duke is overseeing the fight. Obviously. Because that's what royalty in a maximum security prison must do.
Yeah, he's the Duke of New York.
Duh. So he has to oversee the cage fight. So he's there. One of his second in command people is watching the president with a couple of other goons. Brain and Maggie come in and are like, hey, the Duke told us we had to come in because the president has cyanide pills in his clothes and we need to make sure that he doesn't try and kill himself before we can do the prisoner exchange. And they get in there and the second in command is like, I don't think that's correct. And he's like, well, you would be correct, because then Brain stabs him and Maggie shoots the other 3 people that were in the room, and they take the president because they found out where Snake landed the vehicle on the Empire State Building, and they knew that if they could get back up there and with the president, they could get out and they'd be able to strike a deal because they helped the president get out, so they'd be able to get out of prison. So that was their plan. Snake kills the big dude, comes and finds them, is super mad at Brain and Maggie for double-crossing him, but they all have the president. They go to Duke's car. Nope. Brain's car. And they're getting ready to escape. And then it turns out that they're all surrounded by all of the Duke's people. And I literally watched this movie an hour ago, and I can't remember how they get out of this situation. How do they get out of that situation?
Snake shoots something and it like clouds
A fog machine, basically.
Yeah, I don't know why the Duke had a fog machine, but it clouds
The
his
drama.
vision, and then they just run away.
That's right. Okay. Yep.
And then they get to do they run to the bridge?
They
Wait,
get another
run to a-
car.
Yeah.
They get another car because they take the car to the bridge because Brain has a map of like all of the minefields that are on this bridge so that they can get across, because this will get them to the wall where they can get out.
Yeah.
And a small little backtrack while Snake is fighting in the pit, he realizes that one of the guys on the outside of the ring has his tracking device that he was given, so that when he was ready to get pulled out, he could trigger it and they would know where to come find him. And so he kills the guy in the ring and then grabs the other guy and is able to trigger that device, which does like gives off and emits a signal for like 15 minutes or so. And so by doing that, he then gets to the president, yada yada yada. They get to a car, they go to the bridge to get past the minefield. And at one point, so the Duke is coming after them too, obviously. So they're in the minefield, and what happens? Snake runs over a mine and it explodes underneath the car.
Yeah.
And it kills Cabby, who is in the car, which was very sad. That was like
Cabby was cool.
the only moment that I was sad in this movie. And then it destroys the car, obviously. So they get out and they're going on foot now. So they're running on foot, and Brain's reading the thing, and he's like, go right. And then he goes, no, wait, go left, go left, go left. And so everybody else goes right, and he goes left, and he steps on a mine, and he explodes, and Brain dies. And then Maggie, which I think they're boyfriend and girlfriend too, right? They're not just working together. They're also romantically involved, I believe.
Yeah, that's like Maggie was like a side piece given to Brain by the Duke.
Oh, is that what happened? Ooh.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I blacked out.
That's what Cabby says about it. But they do both seem to genuinely care about each other, though.
Like, I think they're actually in a relationship because they genuinely are okay with it.
Yeah.
I almost said want to be, but, like, also if you're in this dystopian, there's literally no one else on Earth, like, maybe you just make it work, but whatever.
Yeah.
There are other people, but they're terrible as well.
These are, like, the two most level-headed prisoners we meet.
Yep. And then, so the Brain dies. Maggie's distraught. She stays behind and sacrifices herself to help slow down the Duke. So the Duke hits her with his car, but she, like, also had it positioned in such a way, she was shooting at him as he was driving up. So it forced him to hit her, which she was also positioned in such a way that it ran his car into another car as well. So that totaled his car, and so he had to go on foot as well. So it slowed him down, since I guess the president and Snake are the only ones left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're sprinting. The Duke's sprinting.
Just a race.
They're getting to the place to get pulled up over the wall or something. The commissioner has people there. I think the president gets pulled up, and, like, as he's getting pulled up, the Duke runs up and is shooting, and Snake, like, and the Duke fight it out. And then you see the president on the wall, and he's grabbed a machine gun, and he just starts shooting Duke up. And kills him. And he's, like, screaming at the top of his lungs while doing it, like, you are the Duke, or something like that. I had to turn on subtitles. I couldn't understand what was happening. And then Snake does get pulled up. They did find the cassette again, too. So they did the cassette that the president had.
Yep. Because
Was
the
like,
goon, the Duke goon that grabbed the cassette from the briefcase traded the cassette to Cabby for Cabby's hat.
for Cabby's hat, yeah. And so Cabby
Yeah.
had it. So then when they all met up, he gave it to Snake. So Snake had it. And so Snake's coming over and something important to note is that there were multiple cassettes in the car. They made a very big point of showing us that.
Yeah.
So there was already a cassette in the because we were driving the taxi, right? That's the car. That's the other car that they end up in. Okay. So
at the end, right?
Yeah, Cabby had a bunch of cassettes, and so we're shown these bunch of cassettes. We're shown Snake pulling one out, putting the president's one in there, and like playing it in the car to make sure that they had the right one. So he took it with him when they abandoned the vehicle. He and the president are over the wall now. Snake, the president's getting taken care of. Snake is like, deactivate these things you put in my neck. And the commissioner's like, not until you give me the cassette. And so he gave him the cassette. They deactivated the things. And then he goes over to the president, and the president is like, thanks for saving my life, and blah, 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 blah. And Snake's like, yeah, I mean, but like a whole lot of people had to die to make it happen. And the president was just kind of like, yeah, okay. And
Heroes to our nation.
yeah. This is a dummy. He's like, heroes to our nation, and blah, 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 blah. The nation thanks them, and yada, yada, yada. And you can tell Snake's, like, ticked that that's his attitude towards it and everything. And so Snake's walking away. The president's doing a press conference because he can't be at the summit, but he's, like, been returned in enough time that he can, like, he's telecommuting to the summit.
Yep.
And he's like, it ends with the president's up there, and he's like, and I have this tape that's gonna bring peace to all the nations. And he puts the tape in, and it's like one of Cabby's like little
Groovy
jaunty tunes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we pan over, and Snake is walking away, and he has that cassette, and he's pulling the tape out of it. Which, for the children at home who don't know what a cassette or a VCR, how it functions, if you pull the tape out, you've ruined it. It's broken.
That's not exactly true, is it? Because you can
if the tape isn't damaged, you can roll it back up. Yeah. But if the tape inside gets damaged, it'll do something similar to like a CD skipping when it gets scratched.
Mm-hmm.
It'll do that same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Dope.
Yeah. So anyway, that was it. That was Escape from New York.
That was a pretty cool ending.
It was a good ending. It was fine. It was all just bad. Like, none of it's a good situation. It's just all bad. Which, like, The Thing is that way too. But it felt more earned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, can I just tell you that I hated every single music that they put over top of the fights.
Yeah.
Like, all of the music that they put over top of the fights was so dumb, and I hated it, and I feel like it ruined it.
I didn't notice it, not gonna lie.
I did not like it.
But there is something, like, in the music, you remember in, like, The Thing, like, the music, I think, like, the main theme, it's like, bum bum, bum bum. Mm-hmm. There's kind of like a similar motif in this movie. Did you notice that?
No, all I noticed was the bad music over top of the fight scenes.
Well, anyway, I was like, did they just reuse the Thing soundtrack? Or I guess did they just reuse the Escape from New York soundtrack in The Thing more aptly?
Right.
But no, it's John Carpenter is the composer for both soundtracks, and yeah, there's some similarities.
John Carpenter's just out here doing it all.
Yeah, he's certainly a jack of many trades.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying John Carpenter's a hack right now. Can't make a good fight song.
Wasn't into it. Killed the vibe.
But a question I had for you, Brailee.
Mm-hmm.
When's this gonna happen?
When is Manhattan going to be turned into a maximum security prison?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Didn't they say that it was after crime rates increased by like 400% or something?
Oh, I didn't hear that. That makes sense, though.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't think we're there just yet.
I think it is. I think it is in the U.S.'s nature to be like, oh, crime is increasing. I guess we just need bigger prisons. That'll solve it.
1000%. Basically, we created our own Australia in this movie.
Yeah.
We were like, send them to a whole other continent. No. We'll just put them in New York.
We're just going to abandon all of the Manhattan infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Make a little prison out of it. Also, we're going to start a nationwide police force. That's crazy.
Right. Well, Jace, what is your rating for this movie?
1 thumbs up, I'd say. It's kind of a step down from The Thing. Which is like one of the best movies ever made, I'd say. Fun movie. But yeah, I give it 1 thumbs up. The second highest score.
I give it like half a thumb up.
Half a thumb up?
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but
wow,
it wasn't great.
You're such a killjoy. You watch this movie with a couple of your friends. It'll be a fun time.
Jason, I disagree. Go watch Legally Blonde instead. Watching that movie with a couple of friends is a fun time.
Yeah, that is a fun time.
Watching Escape from New York with a couple of friends is just going to give you some ammo to make fun of Kurt Russell for his eye patch and his stupid cobra tattoo.
It's so cool.
No. And, like, here's the thing. I'm into tattoos. I like tattoos. I think a lot of tattoos are super cool. This was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Was it just the video, or was it, like, blue? It was, like, a blue cobra?
Yeah. It's like a bluish green, I think.
Green? Escape from New York has 7.1 stars. So, Escape from LA is definitely worse.
Yeah. I heard it's even more goofy.
To be fair, it was probably a pretty fun movie to make.
Yeah.
Like, all of the stunts and fight scenes and everything. It was probably fun to make.
Yeah. So. Snake Plissken seems like a really fun character to play. And I like how it kind of subverts the president rescue genre of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, it's not like, oh, hell yeah, we saved the president. It's like, oh man, this guy is a piece of crap.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, oof, should I have done that?
Yeah.
Should I have saved the president?
Which, like, the commentary of this movie isn't very deep.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it does have, like, some pretty opaque critiques of, like, the militarization of the U.S. and how U.S. policy is kind of just like, you gotta go harder.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta build more prisons. You gotta make more police forces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Last question I have for you, Brailee. Could you beat it?
Could I beat Escape from New York?
Yep.
Could I escape from New York?
Yep.
Yeah, probably not. I for sure would have been dead like 47 times over. How about you?
No. I couldn't.
I probably
My
would have
best-
taken a ninja star to the face.
Yeah. My best bet would be just to be a little goon working for the Duke.
Mm-hmm. Yerp.
Yeah. Nobody's really thriving in this world or escaping from this prison.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Nope.
Definitely not.
Do you have any more points, Brailee?
I got nothing. I think this is our shortest recording too. I'm just coming up on an hour and 7 minutes.
Yeah.
We cruised through that synopsis, and I don't
Really
think
did.
we had a whole lot to add.
What's our next movie gonna be, Brailee?
I need to look. I think we had talked about Fly Me to the Moon,
Yep, that's it.
but I'll have to get back with you because I need to look at my budget and see if I can afford to go watch it.
Oh.
We might need to choose one that I can just stream from a service I already pay for.
Is it not on a
And then
streaming
wait, because
service
this
yet?
will... No, it's still in theaters. It'll be on Apple TV. And so part of me is thinking maybe I need to wait because I do have Apple TV. So eventually I will be able to watch it.
Movies these days go on streaming services like super fast.
They do, but I still don't think this one is. Let me double check.
Yeah. Like Furiosa, great movie. It was on streaming service like a month later or less.
Oh, is that the Mad Max movie?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a new Mad Max movie. Yeah, great movie. I think it was kind of like financially not that great. And like, if your movie's doing bad, don't put it on a streaming service instantly. Like, that's just gonna cause it to make less money. Sheesh.
I'll get back to you later. What was our one after that going to be? Did we have another one picked out, or was that our last one?
Yeah, we had another one. 102 Dalmatians.
We did 102. That was our decision?
Yeah, we put it on the list.
Okay.
If you guys don't want to be spoiled for 102 Dalmatians, watch it before next Monday.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
102 Dalmatians. Yeah. But if you do get it spoiled, I mean, you've had 24 years to watch it.
Yeah.
It came out in 2000.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I was 5.
That is crazy.
You were -4.
Yeah. I was nothing.
I was but an egg.